guys, it's Sami, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's a real Friday, and tonight was the time to go to sleep. When I was Smackdown, that show was boring. It almost put me to sleep. I'm gonna be completely honest. If it wasn't for me taking notes 20 minutes after this show, I'd probably forget everything that happened on the show. To be very honest, this was a nothing happening, not good, boring episode of Smackdown. This was as inconsequential as most Collision shows are. Most Collision shows are just meh. And that's what this show felt like. This show just wasn't good. There was okay wrestling. I wouldn't even say that there's anything that you should go out of your way to watch. If you didn't watch SmackDown, you didn't miss anything. The only thing noteworthy that came out of this SmackDown was that they told us that Naomi would be on Raw Monday, and they said, quote, Naomi sounds off on the state of the Women's World Championship. That's the only thing of note that came from this SmackDown. Other than that, nothing. Tell me if I missed something, but we didn't get a single new thing announced for Clash in Paris, or much of any build towards anything for the Clash in Paris show. Like, what is so far announced for that show? Was it 2 matches? Clash in Paris. What is so far announced? Is it just the 2 world title matches? I want to say that's it. Yeah, just the 2 world title matches. Technically, Naomi and Stephanie is set for the show, but we don't know what's going on with Naomi. But, like, they said, oh, yeah, don't forget, coming up, John Cena versus Logan Paul, Clash in Paris. And then, like, the Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight match. Like, they briefly talked about that, but that's a Raw thing, so they're not going to really harp on that on SmackDown. Brian has a good question here. Where the hell's the King of the Hill stuff we were told about? So Variety had a report last week that said that there's going to be King of the Hill integration into this show. The only thing that I saw was the logo on the mat. And I didn't even realize that until the show was almost over. I didn't even realize that the King of the Hill logo was on the ring mat until we were in the main event. And I go, oh shit, I forgot King of the Hill stuff. Is it on the mat? Like, I looked for it because I didn't even notice or see it throughout the entire goddamn show. That's A, how much I was really paying attention, and B, how much them putting logos on the mats really doesn't make a difference. Really doesn't. Vince always said, I can't put logos on the mat. It's going to be too distracting. We can't have advertising on the ring canvas. Bro, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I don't even notice that it's there. So, yeah, like I said, really a not much happening show. And give me a second. If you guys are watching on YouTube, is the screen just black? Because for me, it's showing just a black screen on YouTube. Never mind, it's fixed now. It's fixed now. That was weird. It was showing me that the YouTube feed was just black. Odd. Anyways, yeah, not a good SmackDown. Not a good And for everyone that always says, Tim will only talk good about WWE and always shit on AEW, I'm shitting on this fucking shit bag of a show. Hell, I probably should have gone and watched TNA Emergence instead. Watch Sami Callihan in his retirement match against Mike Santana. Like, that probably would have been better than watching goddamn this nothing happen in SmackDown. But, hey, we're going to review it, but I ain't got a lot to review. I ain't got a lot to say other than Drew talked for way too long. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, if you want to support the channel in another way, you could do so by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat. You get access to our graphics packages and our graphics tutorials. Also, remember, you can get all of that at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new Shock and Awesome season in Fortnite to get the new Battle Pass. Maybe you're buying the Power Rangers in the shop, whether that's on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, your phone, your tablet, your computer, your Amazon Fire Stick. The shop's going to ask you if you got a creator code, and you do. It's PWU NLIMITED. Also, one last thing. Next week's Friday Night Smackdown is coming to us from Dublin, Ireland, which means that the show is actually going to be live early. There's going to be spoilers out. But if you want to watch it early, if you want to watch the show live and not have to wait till 8 p.m. wherever you live, or 7 if you're central, you can watch it on Netflix. And if you say, well, I don't have international Netflix, what are you talking about, Tim? I don't get Smackdown on Netflix. Well, you could with a free VPN. You can get a free VPN by clicking on the video that I'm about to put in the comments with the link, because we're helping you out. You don't need to go over there and use promo code for NordVPN or someone's code for Surfshark or ExpressVPN. Nah, why pay for those services when all you need is your Netflix subscription and you can watch everything WWE right there? All you need to do is have a Netflix subscription, which most of you that are watching this probably already do for Raw, or just already had Netflix, because goddamn everybody already has Netflix for the most part, or has access to somebody's Netflix. So all you need is a Netflix account, and you can watch SmackDown early next Friday. Watch SmackDown early next week on Netflix. Click the video link that I just put in the comments. You're good to go. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll be making a new video on this as well, leading up just to remind you guys, hey, free VPNs. You don't need to go get Nord, ExpressVPN, or Surfshark. Screw all of them. Watch on your TV, watch on your computer. Most of what I got is working best on computer through the browser. But hey, we're looking at other ways as well. I'm going to be testing some on the Fire Stick this week. So we should have a new video coming out probably next Thursday or Friday morning, giving you all the different ways to get a free VPN and then not have to pay for anything else, especially next year when they move all the PLEs to ESPN and you don't want to spend $30 a month. But with all of that, give me 2 seconds here to switch back over to the chat, because I was getting the what's it called, link for that video. All right. Oh, snap, Bangs. If you're back, if you're available this weekend, we should play some Fortnite. Anywho, as far as SmackDown does go, SmackDown opened up the Solo Sakoa and the MFTs. The United States champion and his family tree came down to the ring, and of course, they got booed. Talk about how last week Sami Zayn came out and tried to show up on SmackDown, and that forced Sakoa and the MFTs to show up on Raw this Monday. In his words, stomp his ass out. Solo declared that Zayn was stomped out alongside Jimmy and Jacob Fatu. He once again challenged anyone from the back to come face him, and the music of Sami Zayn would play. Zayn said that he was just out here to talk. He asked Sakoa if he could just talk to him. The U.S. champion told the MFTs to back off as he stood face-to-face with Sami. Montreal native said that this past Monday, if he had beaten Rusev, there was a possibility that he could fight for a world title at Clash in Paris, but Solo cost him that. He and his group cost him that. He noted how he felt furious, but after some long thoughts, Sami noted that he was finally liberated. Zayn had been so focused on chasing a world title that he hadn't had time to focus on another thing, something else he actually hasn't won. Zayn said there was one title that he hadn't won in WWE, aside from, well, a world title, and that's the U.S. title. Because if you think about it, he's been NXT champion, he's been tag team champion, he's been IC champion, and he hasn't been the U.S. champion. Now, granted, he can go to NXT, he hasn't won North American either, but we're not talking about that. Let's go. Taunted Sami. He's like, yeah, you're never gonna be United States champion. I'm gonna hold this title forever. He yelled at him and said, you know what? Get out of my show. Get off my show. Well, That led to SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis coming out and saying, well, I need to inform you of something, Solo. This isn't just your show, because Sami is the newest member of the SmackDown roster. So Sami has been moved to Friday Night SmackDown. So if you want to look at it in terms of who's gone where and what and so forth, they basically have traded Sami Zayn for LA Knight. LA Knight has been moved over to Raw. Sami Zayn has been moved over to SmackDown. I know many have asked, when are we getting a draft? I don't know if we're going to get a draft this year. I think just subtly, quietly, and here and there, bitch, we're going to just move some people. We're just going to quietly just, boom, you're moved here, you're over here, you're up, you're down, you're over, you're sideways. I just think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we're getting a draft. Now, there could still be a draft, maybe sometime in September, October, or whatever, but there's like no more chatter of it behind the scenes, backstage, or anything. So it looks like they're just going to slowly be moving people around. That's about it. Sakoa tried to strike Sami, and we had ourselves a little brawl, a skirmish. The MFTs stepped in and delivered a numbers game. Took the advantage until Jimmy Uso would run out to try to make the save. MFTs took the advantage from him as well, and Jacob Fatu, that is, would come out as well. The MFTs retreated, and the baby faces stood tall in the ring. Actually, that's when Nick Aldis came out. After the brawl right there, then Nick came out, announced Sami, and then announced a 6-man tag for later on tonight. Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu against Solo Sakoa. Who was it again? That's how much I remember this SmackDown that just ended. Who's the third? Was it JC Mateo or was it? Yeah, it was Solo Sakoa, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo. Talo Tonga at ringside. Shows how much I remember from this show. It was so boring that it barely kept my interest. Like, barely. So moving forward, Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett welcomed us to the show. And they tossed it to Byron Saxton, who was standing in the back with Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis. Green was asked, in her words, how we got here. Green claimed that she couldn't have been severely injured after getting a face full of cake last week. Piper and Alba promised to confiscate Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss's World Tag Team Championships. So are they going to go for the belts or something? I don't know, because Alexa won tonight. As far as the match does go, Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven did take place. There were some King of the Hill logos on the barricade, but it's like not enough for me to even, like, I noticed it at this point, and then that was about it. And again, I didn't even notice the logo in the ring till the main event. Like, I saw it and I was just like, saw it, wrote it down, and forgot about it, which for me is wild because that's like one of my favorite shows of all time. So I'm like, okay. As far as the matches go, Bliss had the momentum early on. Niven pounced, though, and put the stomps to Bliss. She pointed at the Lily doll. Green tried to take it from the outside, but Charlotte backed her off. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing here? She's going to try and steal the doll? What's that going to do? Upset Alexa? Bliss jumped on the back of Niven and tried to apply a sleeper hold. She got her to the ground. Niven used her power, though, to break the hold successfully. After a break, Bliss was taking the advantage after she avoided a Niven cannonball during the commercial. She hit Niven with repeated running moonsaults, but those weren't enough to secure the 3 count. At one point, Bliss avoided possible calamity, dodging a Viper Bomb. Bliss tried to head up top, but Green got on the apron to provide a distraction. Flair stopped her yet again. Fire then got on the apron, but got kicked by Bliss. After all of this, Bliss then just rolled up Piper Niven and picked up the victory. Shitty. This match sucked. Like, the 2 women in the ring were fine, but there was so much of the goddamn stuff on the outside, and then the stupid roll-up finish. It was just like, this match wasn't all that great. This match wasn't all that great, or anything, really. Like, it was kind of a nothing match, if we're being completely honest. So Tiffany Stratton was in the back, and Jade Cargill was with her, and they were arguing. Nick Aldis was just kind of just standing there, making sure like they didn't start fighting or anything. Nia would then show up and was told she was told by Tiffany Stratton. Actually, they were both kind of told, just bring it. Show me who really wants the title shot. Because Nia was like, Jade, you just lost. You don't deserve another shot. I should be the one to get the shot. And Tiffany was like, you know what? Both of you, just bring it and show me who deserves it. And she walks off. Nia and Nia and Jay just look at each other. And then you got Nick Aldis back there just going, oh, whatever. Sure. So it's like, you're not going to make a ruling like a number one contenders match or something? Fuck if I know. Maybe it's a triple threat. Then we had Melo Miz versus Axiom. Crowd was kind of hot for this match. And the story of the match was one of two things. Miz got scared when the Wyatt showed up. And then he stole the victory from Melo. And Melo was kind of upset about it. Axiom and Hayes started things off. Miz tagged himself in, really to the annoyance of his partner. Joe Gacy of the White Six would show up in the crowd, and the Miz was like, oh shit, what are we doing? Scary guys. Then Dexter Lumis would show up, and he got scared again. Axiom and Miz then got themselves in a bit of a flipping attack, I guess you would say, until the former North American champion Axiom used his speed to escape. Frazier entered the match after he was tagged in. Miz was taken down by Frazier by his speed and so forth. Hayes then eventually got in. Frazier flipped across the ring and caught Hayes with an enziguri. Axiom then used their high-flying double-team attacks to rattle Melo Miz as he went to a break. Back from the break, Frazier at one point tried to go for a Phoenix Splash, but Miz rolled out of the way, and Frazier was hit with some knees. Hayes then tagged in and tried to do a springboard attack, but Frazier met him at the top rope, or at the ropes, and hit an inverted Spanish fly. Hayes somehow kicked out of two. This opened up Hayes to go for a Phoenix Splash combo deal of his own, or get hit with one by Axiom. I wrote that weird. Miz broke up the pin. On the top rope, Frazier hit Hayes with a jumping kick and looked for a jumping Spanish fly from Axiom. However, Miz stopped Axiom with a DDT on the apron. Back on the top rope, Hayes countered Frazier with a amazing top rope cutter. Hayes was looking to go for the nothing but net, but Miz would then tag himself in, hit the skull-crushing finale, and get the victory. Hayes just kind of sat there on the top rope like, what the hell are you doing, guy? What the heck are you doing? That was my win. Okay, fine. Miz then runs over, gives him a big old hug, pulls him off the top rope. Melo does not really hug back and looks perturbed, looks pissed off, looks bad. Tiffany was then in the back and approached by Kiana James, who offered her service and said, you know, you're the champion and you may need a couple of things. You may need some protection so you don't lose your belt, but I can also help you get stuff to make you stand out, like a custom pink world championship. And Tiffany's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I already got the belt. I'm the champion. I don't need anyone's help. And basically Kiana James is like, oh, you don't want to turn down our services. Just think what's going to happen to you. So Tiffany leaves. Michin walks up and goes, hey, why are you worried about her? I'm the one who's going to come after Julia next. And then Kiana James is like, yeah, that's under advisement. We'll see. I'm like, the shit is this dumb stuff? We got Kiana James on here representing Julia, the United States champion, but no fucking Julia. What? Then we got Drew McIntyre out here, hemming and hawing and jaw jacking and just for fucking forever. I was like, Jesus, I might as well be watching fucking Peanuts. And the teacher's over there, like that's what it sounded like. He was just going and on and on and on and on and on. So he starts out in the ring, steps in the ring, starts talking about people asking him why he did what he did last week to Cody, why he kicked his head into the announce table. He said, well, let's watch the clip. Watch the clip. He goes, I like that. Let's see it again. Let's watch it one more time. He said apparently he, quote, did not attack Cody. He then accused Joe Tessitore. Or not accused. I used the wrong word. He scolded Joe Tessitore to try and get an update going, hey, it's been a week. What the hell's going on with Cody? You gotta update Joe Tess? And he gets out of the ring and he's over at ringside, kind of talking to the commentators or whatever. And he just rants on and on about they're hiding what happened to Cody. And no one wants you to know exactly what I did to Cody and this and that. He said that he wasn't mad about Rhodes, that he instead felt sorry for Cody, felt sorry for the fans, and that WWE management, this is on them. McIntyre noted that he was once in Rhodes' position. but he moved on afterwards. He noted that Rhodes was nothing without, quote, his story. And he boasted that McIntyre didn't attack Rhodes. He was attacked instead. He keeps talking and talking and talking. He eventually walked us through what happened and put his own spin on it and this and that. He noted that he defended himself and that while Rhodes was good and pissed off, McIntyre was good about taking people out. He declared himself, quote, the real nightmare, and walked off. Cool. I think this is going to end up being Cody and Drew at the pay-per-view at Clash in Paris, the PLE, but he just hemmed and hawed and jaw-jacked the whole time. So we'll see. Don't know why Cody wasn't on the show. I know some people were tweeting, hey, did Cody miss the show to go film Street Fighter? I don't know when that starts filming. Production is supposed to have already started, but it doesn't mean that filming. Just because production starts in August doesn't mean filming starts in August. Last I heard was late August, early September. Like production starts, which means they're prepping the sets and getting everything ready and making sure everything's in Australia for what they need. And then I think filming maybe first week of September. And we still haven't technically, officially heard if Cody is in this movie. Like, there was the rumor that Cody was in talks to read for the movie. And then there was that Deadline article that just basically was just like, here's a list of people in this movie, or that we've heard is in the movie. And Cody was listed as Guile. But there's nothing since the whole, he was asked to read for the movie. Other than that, that's all we know. We assume he's in the movie. Deadline made us think he's in the movie. So we'll have to wait and see. And we don't even know who's the main characters of this movie, who's going to be featured more than others, because it's like Guile was a big part of the first movie, the original in 94, I want to say. I could be wrong on that date. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they wanted to really feature Jean-Claude Van Damme. But it's like, I feel like this one they should just feature more on Ken and Ryu and go from there. Then we had a tag team match. It was DIY versus the Street Profits. Candice LeRae was there with DIY, B-Fab with the Street Profits. As the bell rang, Ford caught Ciampa with a drop kick, but found himself hit with the boot and sent him into the corner. Gargano and Ciampa blasted Ford with a tandem running boot in the corner. Ford avoided a chop block from Ciampa as he tagged Dawkins. Candice LeRae, or outside the ring, LeRae got herself in the way of Dawkins, which allowed Ciampa to hit him with a kick. Gargano, Ciampa, and LeRae then sat on the apron and did the happy clap kind of deal as we went to a break. As we come back, the action had picked up with Gargano and Dawkins down on the mat after a big slam from the ladder. Both men then tagged in their respective partners, and Ford soared in the ring with a high cross body off the top rope to Ciampa. At one point, the Profits showed great teamwork with an assisted double team back suplex on Ciampa as Ford headed up top for the blockbuster. B-Fab was sent into the steps by Candice LeRae. This created a little bit of a distraction, allowing DIY to hit their super kick into a fairy tale ending. Dawkins then slid in at the last second to break up the pin. At one point, while Ford was on the apron, LeRae took him out with a leaping Hurricane Rana. Back in the ring, Gargano hit Ford with a slingshot DDT, and the action turned into chaos. Outside the ring, LeRae got smashed with the knee by B-Fab, and then in the end, the Profits secured victory with a big high frog splash from Ford onto Ciampa. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Three Profits pick up the victory. This is a fine match. A little too much on the outside for me. But if it's going to lead to a Candice B-Fab match, sure. B-Fab needs to work with more people, have more matches, especially work with veterans like Candice to get better. So put her in a match and see if Candice can teach her a thing or two. But again, nothing special about this match at all. In the back, Carmelo Hayes tried to ask Nick Aldis for a singles shot at the U.S. title. When Miz would show up, try to speak for him instead. Sabin and Shelley, well, first Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns taunted Hayes, saying, "Are you him or his?" This led to Aldis then making a match for next week, Motor City Machine Guns versus Melo Miz. They then recapped everything that went down last week with John Cena and Logan Paul, and there's like a fly in my room. Did I catch it? Did I just catch this fly? Nope, my hand's empty. God damn it. Anyways, they recapped everything that went down with John Cena and Logan Paul, talked about how their matches at Clash in Paris, and then R-Truth was in the back and was asked about the recent, quote, attitude adjustment of John Cena, which he seemed overjoyed about, but couldn't get further. Aleister Black confronted him. He wanted to know which truth we were actually getting, as Truth got serious and stepped up to Black. There he is, Mr. Killings, Black said, as he told Truth, I'll see you next week. So we got an interesting segment in the back. It was all the baby faces in the main event. Jimmy and Sami were all reminiscing, well, man, how long has it been since we teamed? And like, yeah, it's been a hot minute, Moose. What's up? And Jacob just gets up and goes, hey, just make sure this guy ain't in my way. He's like, whoa. Hey, we're family. It's all good. And Sami, he's family. So if he's my family, he's your family. We all good, Jacob. And Jacob's like, just make sure he don't get in the way. Yada mean. And he walks off, and Sami looks at Jimmy and goes, yada what? Yada mean? And he's like, hey, don't worry about it. He cool. Jimmy's like, don't worry about Jacob. So as far as next week does go, John Cena will be on the show from Dublin, Ireland. R-Truth will take on Aleister Black, and the Motor City Machine Guns will face Melo and Miz. Before we get into our main event, we got to hear from the sponsor of this podcast, AECOOLY. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3-speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. So with that, as far as our main event does go, it was the MFTs, Solo Sakoa, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo taking on the team of Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu. Things kind of a little whatever early on, but then eventually we settled down, and Mateo and Uso were the legal men. Mateo backed Uso into the corner and clubbed him with some strikes. Uso escaped and stunned Mateo as Zayn tagged himself into the match. Mateo then used his strength to run Zayn into the corner as Tonga Loa entered the match. I think it was Wade who was like, hey, Tonga Loa doesn't get much time to shine on these shows, so kudos for him for being in this match. This fucking flies back. This little fly is going to be the bane of my existence. Tonga Loa threw Zayn outside and caused a distraction from Tala Tonga to kick Sami in the face. After a commercial break, we returned, and Sakoa was pummeling Sami in his corner. Sami tried to fight back, but Sakoa asserted control and brought Mateo into the match. Zayn avoided a running splash in the corner from Mateo and looked for a tag. Sakoa, though, punched Uso away and taunted Fatu as he controlled the attack on Sami. At one point, Zayn was on the top rope. He roared back with the Tornado DDT on Sakoa, which created some much-needed separation for him to finally tag in Jacob Fatu. Fatu headed up to the top as Sakoa stopped him long enough for Tonga Loa to get his knees up after he was tagged into the match on a moonsault. Sakoa then tagged in and hit a diving splash on Fatu for a 2. Fatu and Sakoa then traded super kicks until a double down clothesline got the 2 on the mat. Zayn then entered the match with a tag and a blue thunder bomb on Solo. Mateo broke up the count and ate a super kick from Uso. Fatu super kicked Tonga before he sent Tala Tonga over the announce table with a suicide dive to the outside. Back in the ring, Sakoa Samoan Spike was reversed into an exploder suplex by Sami Zayn, followed by a haluva kick and a 1, 2, 3. Sami picks up the victory, pinning yet again the United States champion. So Smackdown went off the air. Fatu finally showed some respect for Sami. The two embraced and they celebrated with Jimmy in the middle of the ring. So yeah, nothing of note for this match, nothing of consequence or anything. And it was just more of, I don't know. Sami pinned him twice now in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Sami should be getting a shot at the U.S. title. That's about it. So, yeah. It was an okay show, but most of it was pretty boring. Pretty boring. Now, as far as this weekend does go, we do have the AAA Triple Mania show tomorrow. I don't know. What time does that start, guys? I know WWE already has the live stream set up on their YouTube, so let me go check that. Don't even know what time that show starts. I don't think I'm going to be doing like a review tomorrow per se. I think maybe we just wait and we review it Monday on the wrap up. But let me see really fast. That show starts at 8 p.m. Central. Say it's a 2.5, 3 hour show. 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's gonna be late. I think we just wait and review it on Monday, and that be, unless there's some other big breaking news over the weekend, we wait and it's just the main focus of Monday's wrap up. That's kind of what I want the wrap up to be sometimes. Like when we get an NXT PLE, the wrap up's where you get your review. If there's like this and then AAA PLE, the wrap up's where we get a review. Especially on those days where it's like, oh, AEW All Out versus NXT Heatwave or something, or Forbidden Door versus Heatwave. I mean, we do the Forbidden Door pay-per-view live, like that review, as soon as that show's over. But then that next Monday, we'll do like the Heatwave review or something. So I will watch Triple Mania. I will review it at some point, but probably not tomorrow. Because if I'm going to be completely honest, I'll probably be watching the NASCAR race from Richmond. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'll probably be watching the Richmond race live and then Triple Mania on Sunday or something. So we'll see how it all does play out. Hell, I'll probably be streaming some Fortnite. Who the hell knows? But with all of that, that was Friday Night Smackdown. Also, this is still live. They've had a live stream going of the best of Brock Lesnar for like 3 days now. There's 600 people watching it. Holy shit. But with all of that, you know what I thought of SmackDown. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night SmackDown as we go and refresh all of these polls. And the Twitch poll never went. No, the Twitter poll never went. Well, goddamn. Wow. As far as the Threads poll does go, 80% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right. As far as the community poll does go, 63% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right, and 17% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll here, 52% liked the show, 24% thought it was just all right, and 24% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, like I stated, probably not going to be live reviewing Triple Mania this weekend, but we will be back live for sure Monday morning with the wrestling wrap up, and then Monday evening with Monday Night Raw. With that, guys, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to head over to a raid really fast. We're going to send